Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Friday. This is my co-host,
Hi guys, I'm Feather.
and today we're going to be taking you to the Willamette National Forest. I think it's like I want to say 8-mile trip that
Yeah,
we took.
it was about 8 miles. There and back was not a loop ride, as many roads aren't. And this one wasn't marked, so there's really no real way to even give a destination. It was behind a forest-free
Ooh,
gate.
see that?
Yeah, yes.
Very tricky.
Your maneuvers are so
Yeah,
awesome. But it was behind a green forestry gate. So again, no word as far as like no road sign, no number,
So we're not going to give you the location, basically.
just Willamette Forest.
Yeah, we don't really know. So we just went out into some general area, and now we're gonna watch this video. I kind of put this together so that Feather could watch it, and I just kind of wanted to see what her reaction was because she was there, and here she is riding.
Yeah, that's me. When I first started riding, I was very awkward. I'm still not the best at riding, but my confidence level has definitely improved.
So we probably want to talk about the
Oh yeah,
the
the
actual-
obstacles. Yeah.
yeah. So here I am setting up the camera because I decided that, getting my hand in the shot's the perfect way to set this up.
Actually, what we're trying to show is kind of these creative ways that you have to go around these different obstacles, and this is a hazard that you run into when you're taking those roads that aren't marked. That means they're also not maintained. So we use an e-bike. It's the Cannondale Moterra. Awesome bike. And they're not exactly as light as a standard mountain bike, so as you can see, sometimes you need the two-man solution, or one man, one woman.
yeah.
But we make it work.
Yeah, it was one of those trails where we never know what we're really gonna find or what to expect. Sometimes it'll be just fine for miles, and then other times it gets choked up. I think this got choked up kind of quickly. I don't think we got very far.
No, it was just a couple miles in with success. As you can see, though, it's really beautiful terrain. The Willamette Forest is definitely a favorite, but any forest for that matter is just... I prefer that over desert for sure. But I'm sure later in the season, because this will close out, the snow's hit it, and then we don't tend to ride in the snow, so we'll probably head more to the desert side of Oregon at that point. And it helps that we're actually centrally located ourselves, so we can go any direction as a day trip, and we do prefer to do about 20-mile rides. Just makes it worth it when you're loading bikes and traveling for a few hours. This was luckily not one of those like multi-hour away kind of trips.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say is like our shortest average ride that we try to do? I think it's like 9 miles, isn't it, as a minimum?
Yeah, I would say 9, but we usually shoot for 20 miles for as far as a longer ride, and I think we wanted to get to where we could do 25 to 30 miles, right? About 25, 30 miles.
Yeah, we've only had our bikes a couple months. Since May, it's now October, whatever that math is. I don't want to do the math.
So that's 5 months, yeah, which
Yeah.
sounds about right. And got over 300 miles put onto them, so that's not too bad as far as saddle time, being in the saddle. And
yeah, we're adjusting and trying to get our bikes to adjust with us too.
yeah, we're definitely not young and sprightly, so being
Speak
able
for
to
yourself.
kind of get out and enjoy this beautiful scenery that you can see here we're very fortunate. And
Yeah, you did good to get that skyline up there, like showing the top of the hill, because it's really hard to capture on video the real like how steep some of these inclines actually are. And on this ride specifically, we did encounter quite a bit of uphill, and some of it was definitely a little steeper than others, but it's definitely not the worst uphill we've done this season.
here comes one of our challenges. Thankfully it had a little split
Yeah.
that went across it, so we could kind of walk our bikes sort of through it.
I remember this crossing. Could have done this more gracefully.
And then it's my turn, and I was like, well, I think I can probably not climb over the log and get through.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
And still had a little bit of trouble, but not too bad as far as an obstacle is concerned. I would take that all day.
Yeah, compared to some of the rides we did earlier in the season, which we didn't get video of, just weren't thinking about it. But yeah, those ones were really, really challenging.
You know, one of the things I really enjoy riding with you is that you keep me at a pace so that I stay safe.
So you're saying I'm kind of slow?
No. I mean, it's just there are points where I will want to just go crazy and just go off, and you will keep me, behind. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, we have, and I was talking about how you help to push me because I do try to do things that I'm not super comfortable with every time that I go out. You are definitely more experienced of a rider than I am.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was ultimately getting at. It's just how awesome I actually am. So.
You just want me to admit it. I fully admit it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just started standing up and pedaling not that long ago, so it's always a challenge for me. But
yeah, even the things that I sometimes will not really even think a big deal of. I realize, oh my God, she's analyzing the dirt right now, and she's scared of like the unknown of what might be ahead, whereas I'm just kind of plowing through the dirt, feeling the dirt, and just dealing with the dirt when I get to that dirt,
Yeah, well, I definitely notice every area that we go to, there's kind of a different flow to each trail. Mm-hmm. So some of them, like this one, I really couldn't go very fast on. There were definitely some loose rocks here and there that would cause your back end to slide out sometimes. For the most part, though, the terrain was really good, other than, of course, obstacles like this that weren't always as pleasant. That one was super easy for you to get through, and then I did eventually follow, but yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those obstacles I think that I would take those kind of obstacles as far as a trail. I think they actually add to the trail in a way,
It does, and makes it have a little character.
Yeah.
If it was always smooth sailing, I guess you wouldn't feel like you were really going out in the woods and getting away from all the modern day stuff. Because we didn't see a single person the whole time we were out here. No other cars, no sounds of traffic. We were concerned about bears because you kept making comments about.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Look behind you. You could just see one coming out like it was going to run at you. So, I mean, it is fall. We're definitely out there in bear country.
This is your...
I know. I'm so...
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us all about how awesome you are crossing obstacles.
I'd rather not because I got smacked by that branch. There's always how you plan things to happen, and then there's what happens.
I love it though, Liz. That's what I mean, we're not young, again, like I mentioned earlier, so for us to be able to do, this was a shorter ride, but most of the time we can pull 20 miles. I know it's on an e-bike, so I guess that's kind of controversial, but I've definitely seen a lot of health benefits for me.
Yeah. Overall, I definitely feel better. And we don't have all the gear that most people would have going out either. We kind of simplify everything. Like that backpack I'm wearing is straight from Walmart. It was like, I think $20, But it's already lasted several seasons. And eventually our plan is to get some racks for the back of the bike, and then we can strap our packs to that. Because he had a really good point. I was talking about just getting saddlebags. Why would we go with backpacks instead of saddlebags? And he made a good point. If something happens and you have to haul everything out of there, it's a lot easier to just carry a backpack. I do think there's some saddlebags that you can strap over the front and the back, but overall, my hiking bag is a lot more comfortable for me.
Yeah, I think a can of bear spray is probably a good idea. But I'd like to get actually, I know this goes against the holy grail of my mountain bicycling rules, but I really would like a kickstand. I think it would be nice to add that
Yeah.
as a feature, not only to have just not having all, it's like if there's an injury or someone falls or whatever, then
You get stuck
oh
there.
yeah, or like here where I could possibly get right,
Yeah,
and,
your pedal gets all caught up on
Right.
that log.
but you know what I mean. That could have been I don't know, a foot or something, and
Yeah.
and then it would be just nice to be able to kick the kickstand down and get to the person, because we've been in a situation where
A couple,
yeah,
I wrecked, you wrecked, and trying to figure out where to lay your bike because you don't want to screw up your derailleurs. So you're trying to figure out, and oftentimes the trails we're riding, there's either a sheer cliff on one side, or there's really nowhere to lay your bike unless you just throw it on the ground.
So yeah, I feel like a kickstand is just for us. Kind of seems like we should go ahead and upgrade and break the cardinal rule and just let the other mountain bikers like scoff at us for our old incapable ability to find a place to lean our bike up.
Yeah, we're old. We get away with it.
Yeah,
we
and
get
that's
permission.
I mean, I'm trying to make it enjoyable, let the ride be enjoyable for us, and I think a kickstand would just make it enjoyable. So that's what you got to do, I think, when you go into mountain biking. Not to sound like I know everything about mountain biking, but
No,
I think
we do things our way for sure. I kind of wear, I guess, tight bicycle looking clothes, but really it's just leggings. I find they're really comfortable to ride in. You always ride in jeans or shorts.
yeah, I
if
do.
it's
I
really
keep
hot.
it traditional. It's what I wore as a kid. I put so many miles on the pavement as a kid that it's just I got comfortable. That's my gear. That's what I know.
Mm-hmm.
It goes against the grail, or against the grain of, again, most mountain bikers will frown on cotton and things like that.
Well,
but
I think it's about lighter weight, really.
yeah, well, but because we got e-bikes. I don't worry so much about our weight, because the e-bike's gonna do a lot of that work. We're really just getting
Yeah.
that cardio, and it works too. I mean, you do get out of breath.
You do, yeah, because we're pedal assist, so there's no. If we're not making it go, it's not gonna go unless we're on a downhill. That's always nice. I love it when there's some downhills, especially after some of the steep terrain that we end up taking on.
Yeah, and we like purposely went for the kind of the same bike, so that way we kind of have the ability to evaluate how good the bike is, because you have two different ones too. You also have another one to compare, so if
Yeah.
something breaks. And I think we wanted something that would give us a long range, give us plenty of power, which these bikes do. We haven't met a hill yet that the bikes can't climb, so I'm really
Yeah.
proud of that.
And we have taken on some. I think one was like 3 miles straight of uphill, if I remember
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, the bikes, if you put them in a low enough gear or easy enough gear, it just, the bike, you can let the bike do the work. You still have to do the cardio,
Yeah.
but you can let the bike kind of do the work. And I really like the range of the bike. I think they can get like 80 miles, 80 or 85 miles. You can get
I
out
think
of
it depends.
a full battery.
Yeah, on the
It
terrain.
probably does depend, on how much uphill, downhill you're dealing with.
Yeah. We never even talk about our matching sweaters, right?
But, oh
Like-
yeah, we should. I mean,
We have matching bikes, matching sweaters, our helmets match.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both wear matching gloves.
I think it's just a matter of like, well, I mean, we're here. Let's list the best that's on the rack. Or on the internet, wherever we're getting it from. Why would you want to get out here? I'll get the better one, and you get the
yeah.
not as good
Here,
one.
you try this one. I'll try this one. No, if everything is good, and you did a lot of research on these bikes. I love that shot.
Thank you. Yeah, I really had fun finally figuring out on this trip how to kind of get different angles. Because at first I was too scared to take it out of its little carrier up front on the handlebars. And I finally got brave enough, and I started moving it around, which requires me to ride with one hand. And
Yeah, you almost wreck a few times on that ride. I don't think you put any of that in here, but
I don't know if I had footage of it, but
yeah, there were a few times that things got a little sketchy for you.
but yeah, I mean, I love getting shots like that though, where, you know, now that I have the freedom to like, okay, I have to use my hand,
Yeah.
pivot around.
I'm getting there. I can take my hand off at least one handlebar, and I can switch them. It's no longer just the right hand doesn't always have to be the one that's on the handlebars.
I will admit something that I find too is like I want to look at the camera, and you're supposed to look happy all the time, and like you're just enjoying yourself, and everything's just wonderful. And
Yeah.
I find myself making the oh poop face quite regularly.
Well, like you said, it's not easy to film one-handed, ride one-handed.
Yeah.
Because we do make the terrain look a lot smoother, and maybe it's because of how we set the shocks. Maybe that helps to smooth out the ride a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a testament to the bicycle to itself. Yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of it. It really takes on all the terrain that we were looking to try to do. You know, we're not interested so much. We did some of those more, like, I don't know if you call them professional, but the either actual single track mountain bike,
Yeah.
you know, trails. And that's where we seem to have found routes that wanted to throw us off of our bicycles. And
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here we go through another gate. Gotta stand up to get that momentum.
yeah, I love that that's something you work on, because I don't really necessarily think about standing up as a skill, you know, but it's an actual skill that you have to develop and be comfortable, start to be comfortable with.
For sure, yeah, because that's more cinder, that red sand stuff that we're riding in. Some of it did get a little thick in spots. You could tell if it was raining, it would get really boggy in there. I don't think I'd want to ride in there if it was those kind of conditions.
Well, we're just about to be, I think, coming around. That was going on to the regular gravel. That's the kind of gravel I like to ride on. I don't know if I would prefer it, but because you get different, you know, moods or whatever that you want to get, you know, different terrain you just feel like doing that day. But a lot of times I just like this gravel because you can fly down it.
Yeah.
You know, at a nice speed, and feel rather comfortable that it's not going to throw you too many surprises. You know.
Yeah, no big potholes.
Mm-hmm.
Or big roots or boulders. We've run into a few things here and there.
Well, so it looks like this is the end. We made it to our car, and I really appreciate you guys joining us. That was wonderful to have our first episode.
It was.
And
we made it.
Hopefully, maybe we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.